3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Jackson. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualize.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And that's been an Achilles heel for them all season long, being able to play against the run, being able to slow teams down. But it's not just that. When you give up big chunks of yardage in the running game, it also opens up the passing options for the team you're playing as well. So typically, when you don't play the run well, you're getting hit in all phases.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So here are the Chargers to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Second and long. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Brown. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Patriots take over. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Go. Check 13. Check 13. Look at me. Go.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw, Tannehill. Catch is made by Harry. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first throw for the backup, Jackson. Rolling to his right. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey! Go! Ready?
On the ground, this is Michelle. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Jackson, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson now letting one go deep for the end zone. The LA defense up to snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Casey Hayward makes the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And Brown's got it for a Patriots touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, put the ball away, get yourself set to play deep.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He'll look to throw. Benjamin's got it. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Let's go.
A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And he's going to go down again. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Gordon. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the Chargers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Bills with an early lead over the Jets. Zay Jones, a first-half touchdown in that one. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Now Tannehill got a man open, that's Harry. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Patriots to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Set 70, Indy. Rock it. Watch the twist. Slam.
He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
Right over there. Yeah.
Tannehill on first down. Going for it all. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
He can't hang. He's not there.
Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down.
Exit. 58 for Mike, 58 for Mike. Look at me, zipper. Okay, Sam on.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they? Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Joey Bosa. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Shaq Lawson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll look to throw here, and that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Whip. Watch the whip. Look. Squeeze. 22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Ready.
They begin with Michelle on the ground. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson from the shotgun, and that'll be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Virgil Green, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right? That's
a zinger.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 22 and a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Let's go. Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey, we are. Look at me. Go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
New England on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check 99. Check 99.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Robert Foster, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his RAC, right? RAC?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Shaq Lawson and the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Tannehill. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Well, they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll look to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They've gone to the fourth quarter now in Dallas. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Hey. He's coming. Double up. Get it. He's coming. Double up. Check.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
36. Hey, ready.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. Jackson to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Now Brown, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for New England, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Gonna see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down.